Exit. Chapter 1, Prologue. The water was rising. There was 1 minute on the clock. I was the only one left. Time is almost up, said Redacted. Just one more question to go. The question read, who was the 32nd President of the USA, and I was panicking a lot, so I wasn't able to answer right now. 10 seconds to go, said the announcer. As my nose touched the ceiling, I yelled with all my air in my lungs the answer. Frank, time's up, the announcer called. Chapter 2, New Members. I watched with keen interest as Yoter and Vadir stood before Shalom and Shakar. It was a momentous occasion, one that would solidify their place in our team. The room was charged with an energy that only moments of great significance seemed to possess. Shalom, ever the ceremonious one, began the initiation. His voice was steady and authoritative, a tone he had perfected over the years. Yoter, he began, his eyes locking onto the young man before him, you have shown remarkable bravery and ingenuity. From this day forward, you shall be known as Mr. Yo. Yoter nodded solemnly, the weight of the new identity settling over him. Next, Shakar stepped forward. Her presence was equally commanding. Vadir, she said, her voice carrying a hint of warmth, your quick thinking and resourcefulness will serve us well. You shall be known as Mr. Ver. Vadir smiled, accepting the name with a sense of pride. Later, as the ceremony concluded, Shalom and Shakar shared a quiet moment, reflecting on how far they had come. They were no longer the young, inexperienced members of the team. At 18, they had grown into their roles, and now it was their turn to guide the new generation. Yoter and Vadir, now bearing their new code names, walked down a dark alleyway, unaware of the danger that lurks. Suddenly, a van screeches to a halt beside them. Men in masks jump out, grabbing them with swift, practiced movements. The struggle is brief. Yoter and Vadir are overpowered and dragged into the van. The door slams shut, and the van speeds off into the night. I received the call shortly after. They've been taken, the voice on the other end said. It was Shalom, his voice filled with a mixture of fear and determination. We need to get them back. And so began our journey into the unknown, a journey fraught with danger, deception, and the ever-present threat of death. But we were ready. Together, we would face whatever challenges lay ahead. Chapter 3, It's a Trap. We were led to believe we were here for a different purpose, but as we stood in the large, dimly lit room, the realization began to dawn on us. The air was thick with anticipation and unease. I glanced around at the rest of the team, Diamond, Stellar, Toad, Toadette, Invisibility, Shalom, Shakar, Yoter, and Vadir, each of their faces reflecting a mix of confusion and apprehension. Dr. Theater stood before us, a sinister smile playing on his lips. He had been the one to gather us here, but his true intentions were only now becoming clear. Welcome, everyone, Dr. Theater began, his voice echoing in the vast room. You may be wondering why you are here. The truth is, this facility is not what it seems. You have all been chosen to participate in a series of games, deadly games. Each one is designed to test your limits, your loyalty, and your will to survive. Gasps and murmurs filled the room. I could see fear and anger in the eyes of my teammates. Shalom and Shakar exchanged a worried glance, while Toad and Toadette seemed ready to spring into action. Dr. Theater raised a hand, silencing the murmurs. These games will force you to confront your deepest fears and darkest instincts. You will have to betray each other, fight for survival, and ultimately, only one of you will remain. The winner will face the final challenge, the water tank, and if they succeed, they will be granted a single wish. The room fell silent, the weight of his words sinking in. Betrayal, survival, and a single wish, this was not what any of us had signed up for. You have until the first game begins to prepare, Dr. Theater continued. Make your choices wisely. Trust no one. With that, he turned and left the room, leaving us to grapple with the reality of our situation. Diamond was the first to speak, her voice shaky but determined. We need to stick together. If we work as a team, we can find a way out of this. Stella nodded in agreement. We can't let him turn us against each other. There has to be a way to beat these games without resorting to betrayal. Toad and Toadette exchanged a grim look. Easier said than done, Toad muttered. We don't even know what kind of games we'll be facing. Invisibility stepped forward, his expression thoughtful. We need a plan. We need to be strategic about this. If we can outsmart Dr. Theater, we might stand a chance. Shalom and Shakar were huddled together, whispering urgently. Yoter and Vadir looked to them for guidance, still coming to terms with their new codenames and the roles they would play in this twisted game. I took a deep breath, trying to steady my nerves. We need to stay calm and think clearly, I said, addressing the group. We've faced challenges before, and we've always come out stronger. We can do this, but we have to be smart and we have to trust each other. The team nodded, determination replacing fear in their eyes. We had been through a lot together, and we weren't going to let Dr. Theater break us. As we began to discuss our next steps, the countdown to the first game loomed over us, a constant reminder of the peril we faced. The beam room awaited us, and we would need every ounce of our strength, cunning, and unity to survive. Chapter 4: The Beam Room. The beam room loomed before us, its metal beams stretching out over what seemed like a bottomless pit. 10 of us stood on separate beams, each one measuring 1.8 meters. The air was tense with anticipation as we awaited the start of the challenge. I found myself positioned at the end of one of the beams, a spot that would test not only my physical balance but also my mental fortitude and third-person skills. Around me, the rest of the team stood, eyes fixed on the series of visual puzzles displayed on screens above. Dr. Theater's voice echoed through the chamber, carrying a sinister edge. Welcome to the beam room, he announced. This challenge will test your ability to solve puzzles under pressure. As the beam recedes, the puzzles will become more difficult. Fail to solve a puzzle in time, and your beam will retract further. The first to fall will be eliminated. The countdown began, ticking away the seconds as we focused on the first puzzle, a distorted image of a famous landmark. I steadied myself, my mind racing to decipher the puzzle before the beam beneath me began to retract. As the timer started, the team sprang into action. Stellar and Diamond analyzed the puzzle, debating the landmark's identity. Toad and Toadette scrutinized the details, searching for clues hidden in the distortion. Yoter and Vadir, despite their recent ordeal, joined in, offering suggestions and strategies. Meanwhile, Shalom and Shakar monitored our progress from a distance, their expressions a mix of concern and determination. Invisibility floated among the teams, a silent reminder of the stakes at hand. I focused intently, my eyes darting between the puzzle and the shrinking beam beneath me. With a sudden burst of insight, I shouted, "It's the Eiffel Tower!" The team hesitated for a moment, then nodded in agreement. Stellar quickly inputted the answer into a keypad beside the screen. The countdown paused momentarily, signaling our success. Dr. Theater's voice boomed again, "Correct. Proceed to the next puzzle." The beam stabilized briefly as the next puzzle appeared, a series of vanity license plates with mixed-up letters. The pressure mounted as the timer resumed, and my beam began to retract slowly. One by one, we tackled the puzzles, each one bringing us closer to the edge of our endurance. As the challenges grew more complex, tensions rose among us. Invisibility, ever observant, noted the strain in our interactions but said nothing, letting the pressure of the challenge push us to our limits. Minutes passed like hours as we navigated through the puzzles. Some required quick reflexes, while others demanded careful analysis. Throughout it all, I remained steadfast, my determination unwavering despite the physical and mental strain. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, only 2 of us remained on the beams, myself and one other contestant. The final puzzle appeared, a series of rapidly changing images that required lightning-fast reactions. I focused with laser-like precision, my senses heightened by adrenaline. I recognized patterns in the images, reacting swiftly to each change. The other contestants struggled to keep up, their beam retracting faster with each missed response. As the puzzles intensified and the beam gradually receded, tension mounted among us. Each step became more precarious, with the looming threat of elimination heightening the stakes. Shalom and Shakar, observing from the sidelines, exchanged worried glances as they saw Yoter struggling. They knew his resilience, but the relentless pressure of the game was taking its toll on everyone. Stellar, Diamond, Toad, and Toadette remained focused, their determination unwavering as they meticulously deciphered each puzzle thrown their way. Invisibility, ever the strategist, offered quiet suggestions and solutions, trying to guide us through the challenges ahead. Positioned towards the end of the beam, I held firm, my mind racing with thoughts of how to outlast the others and reach the next phase of the deadly game. Suddenly, a particularly tricky puzzle appeared on the screen above. It required quick thinking and precise coordination to decipher. Yoter, already fatigued, made a critical misstep as he tried to adjust his position to get a better view of the puzzle. His foot slipped, and before anyone could react, he lost his balance and plummeted into the abyss below. Gasps filled the room as Yoter's fall echoed through the beam room. Shalom and Shakar rushed forward, their hands reaching out instinctively as if to catch him, but it was too late. Yoter's fate was sealed, and the reality of our perilous situation sank deeper than ever before. I clenched my fists, a mix of sorrow and determination flooding my thoughts. We had lost a teammate, a friend, to the unforgiving challenges orchestrated by Dr. Theater. Dr. Theater's voice filled the chamber once more. Congratulations. You have won the Beam Room Challenge. The rest of you will proceed to the next phase of the game. As the team regrouped, relief and exhaustion washed over us. We had survived the first deadly challenge, but we knew that even greater trials awaited us in Dr. Theater's twisted game. And so, our journey through Exit continued, each step bringing us closer to the ultimate challenge, the water tank, where a single wish awaited the last one standing.